out. Here come former SportsCenter anchor Bob Stevens, esteemed basketball coach Rich Basirico, and Hall of Fame sports writer Curry Kirkpatrick. And someone's going under the bus.
Welcome in. Thanks for joining us for Under the Bus, brought to you by Hudson's, a great seafood restaurant on Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. You can find out more at hudsonsonthedocks.com. Scotty Scheffler, not under the bus this week.
No.
I think we can safely do that, winning his fourth major championship by what? At least 3 shots.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty good.
Have you seen that stat where it said he's the first golfer in 117 years to win 4 majors by at least 3 strokes or more?
Yeah, I mean,
117 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You haven't even seen anybody do that before.
No.
Right, Rich? Yeah.
There's so many stats he's coming on. You know, they're just they're just building him up as he wins. NBC tried their best to make this dramatic, and I was watching it, trying to, and listening to it on the beach, and it was funny how, they were desperately trying to make it attractive to the viewers and say, stay tuned, we're coming back, and Scotty might, when he made double bogey, oh, maybe it's going to turn. What a joke! Somebody said after the third hole yesterday, it was over. This thing was over after the third hole on Thursday. I mean, in the first, he got, when he gets ahead, I don't know what the stat is. I know he's 12 straight after ahead by 54 holes. What is the stat if he's ahead at 36 or 18? I think it must be some other incredible number, because he
didn't get ahead until 36. He actually, laid back.
Yeah.
Kind of like a really good horse in a horse race, kind of just laid back, see where everybody's going, and then boom.
But when his name is up there, somebody said, one of the players said, "It sucks for us." I think it was Shoffley. Shoffley said, when his name's up on the board, it sucks for us, for all of us. And
that's what the guys used to do with Tiger. I mean, if you saw his name up there, you said, "Oh boy, here we go."
Well, and now they're making comparisons from him to Tiger. They're going now comparisons to him and Jack Nicklaus, which is really interesting, because he's really boring, as we've said, as NBC has even said, and he hasn't got much of a personality, and his golf is like that. It's just he hits it in the fairway, it seems, every time. He's got a stupid swing. His legs and his feet are all scrambled up. It's amazing how he learned to hit with that swing. But it's always in the fairway, and then it's always on the green. It's a really boring thing. That's the way Jack used to dominate majors.
That's what I think. Yeah, I'd compare him to Jack almost more than Tiger, don't you think, Curry? I mean,
that's what they've been doing now. The way he dominates majors, and Jack was like a machine. I mean, when he got on the lead, it was over there too. Of course, Tiger's more wild, and he did a lot of recovery shots. But Scotty, I think, his game and his domination is more like Nicklaus.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tiger also was so emotional too, right? I mean, when he made a putt and the arms would go out and everything else, he doesn't show any emotion. We've talked about this before,
walk up, pick it out of the hole.
Until the end, when his wife and the kid came on, he goes nuts. Then it's really he holds it in, obviously, until it's done, which
goes back to what he said before the tournament began. Where he said, that the golf isn't what fulfills me. It's more the family stuff. So that's when you actually do see a little bit of emotion. I have seen one number and one just little thought from out of left field that maybe gives the rest of the world hope in the Scheffler world. Brooks Koepka went through a similar run of majors, just majors, not the other tournaments.
Yeah.
Between 2017 and 2019, those 3 years, he won 4 and then won a 5th one. He has 5. Scotty's got 4.
Yeah.
And McElroy's got
but you don't
5.
see him anymore, huh?
Is McElroy got 5?
McElroy's got 5, yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's interesting that well, maybe he hits a plateau and the other guys catch up to him, but boy, it certainly doesn't seem like now. And the amazing thing I think we saw this week more than anything is his putting. That was his Achilles heel.
Right.
He couldn't putt. A couple of years ago, he was outside the top 150 in putting. Last year, he was 77th. He was mediocre. He was halfway there. He's in the top 25 now, and he was second at the British Open. And when Scotty's anywhere near the top 10 in putting, the game is indeed over. They tried to create some NBC to create a little drama. So on the very first hole, he hits it to 2 feet. And then after he makes the double bogey, as you mentioned, Curry, he hits it to about 6 feet. Birdies both holes, and never mind.
He does that. He does that in a lot of tournaments too. He does that in a lot of majors and a lot of tournaments. Koepka, of course, disappeared. He went to the Live Tour,
right?
And as you say, he's not in the mix anymore. Of course, he doesn't have. I mentioned his, and Bob, you're a golfer, but I mentioned his swing and Scotty's stance and how he finishes his swing and his feet are all over the place. It's like he's jumping out. It's like he's jumping sideways half the time. It's amazing how this guy can hit it like that.
Yeah, it is indeed, and it's pure Scotty. I think it's interesting though, and this may be the thing we can debate. Is his best still better than DeChambeau's best? Because Bryson was awful the first round and then made 19 birdies in the last 3 rounds after not making a single one in the first round. When he gets on, he's something. And now he is going to be on the Ryder Cup team. Keegan Bradley let that out during the tournament.
He said it already. Wouldn't he have won if the tournament was just those last 3 rounds? He would have won it going away, right? With those 3.
I mean, he top 10, with a 70. What was it, 8 in the first round, 7 over par. He almost didn't break 80, and yet he still almost wins the tournament. That's like what Scotty should have to do: give everybody a head start, a really big head start.
But he can blow up so much. I mean, his last tournament, he didn't even make the cut. I mean, Scotty's always in there. Scotty's always in the top 10 per se, but Bryson can just blow up. I mean, he did come back. I thought he wasn't going to make the cut this time after the first round. Thinking, my goodness, he's going to miss the cut again.
Yeah. But just imagine, I didn't realize he was left off the Ryder Cup in Rome. I didn't realize he was not on our team then. And was that because he was with Liv?
Yeah, and he wasn't playing quite as well.
He wasn't as well. Well, just imagine at Bethpage what the crowds are going to be like for DeChambeau, and his on-court personality and enthusiasm. It's going to be unbelievable.
It'll be really good stuff.
Yeah.
The one last note, and maybe the explanation for Scheffler's genius. First of all, he has now won as many tournaments in his career, total tournaments in his career, as Jim Furyk and Curtis Strange. I mean, he's already there, and he's not even 30. This year, he has made 16 starts. He's been in the top 25 in every one. Wow. He's never even threatened to miss a cut. He's been in the top. He's had 13 top 10s. And including 11 in a row, where he's been in the top 10. That in the golf biz, that's doing it. That's tennis numbers right there. When you talk about making it to like the quarters of or semis of every tournament.
Speaking of the Ryder Cup, Bob, I'm sure we're going to talk about this when it gets nearer. But Keegan Bradley. He finished 30th, which isn't that great. He's behind, so that wouldn't qualify him to play on the Ryder Cup team. But he's if he's going to play a few more of these tournaments going down to the end here. What if he does well enough? I'm going to ask you guys, and Rich, as you're a coach, what if Bradley qualifies? Is in the top 6 even or top 10? Does he go to the guys that he's going to select on the team and ask them, should I play or should I just be your coach? What do you think what do you think? What would you do in that case?
I think, you got to be, well, you guys know golf better than I do, but you got to be in the Ryder Cup team. You got to be the most consistent golfers. If you're going to have games where, you've won, let's say, a tournament, a major tournament, but then next time you don't make the cut, you're looking at guys that are the most consistent people. I think he should just coach. I don't think can he win it? Can he win and be in the top 5? Sure he can, and he has been, but he's not the most consistent golfer on the tour. I think his role should be the coach and leave it at that and find the most consistent players that we have in the United States, and let's do it.
The thing is, though, is he has been as consistent as anybody else, as any of the guys he's going to be picking. Curry, I love your thought process. I think he should go to the other captain. He's got 49 vice captains. Every player gets their own vice captain. It's like NBA coaches. There's way too many of them.
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, what? Make that putt. It's not like they're going to actually coach them.
I know. It's just
and that's the other thing. Other than making the pairings, what does the captain actually do? Okay, yeah, he can give the locker room speech. What kind of locker room speech do you give to a golfer? Hit it in the fairway, hit it on the green, make the putt. There's not a whole lot
hit it straight. Yeah.
Well,
hit it straight.
Going back,
or hit it straighter.
Going back to the main question, Bob, you were about to comment on if he asks, let's say he has 5 vice captains or whatever. Yeah. If he asks them and he says, "Look, I'm playing great, but I don't know what to do here," would they vice captains say, "Look, you got to play. You're just too good not to play"? If he's playing great, and he's first of all, he's really a good Ryder Cup player. His past history, and he's a great match cup. He's a great match player, which is really important. And some guys aren't. And he's, I don't know. It's going to be a quandary if he's.
But honestly, would those guys actually say to him, "No, you shouldn't play. You're not good"? If they come to he goes to those captains and say, "Hey, what do you think?" Are they going to say to him, "No, you shouldn't play"?
Well, but they're all. I think they'd be honest with him, and they'd say,
"I do too."
Well, yeah, we think you can help us win by playing.
Yeah, what if? Let me ask you this: what if he asked Scheffler and Schauffele and DeChambeau, and they, and he's playing great. He's like 5 or 6, and they say, and Scotty Scheffler says, "Hey, you're playing too well not to play." There's a real quandary here, I think.
Yeah.
Then he should play. But if they tell him, you know what, play captain and we'll figure it out, then he should do that. But it's going to be interesting to watch.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be that conversation. That's going to be a real conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be, and the media will go crazy.
Yeah.
Either way, the drama will be worthwhile, and maybe that's something the Ryder Cup needs. I don't know.
Let me ask you something, Bob, about your boy Chris Gotterup, this guy that was unheard of before the last 2 weeks.
I never heard of him.
I wish he was my boy. He's a Jersey boy. Rich.
I know he's a Jersey boy.
I never heard of him.
Again, I'm going back to the Ryder Cup. Okay. He's made $2.3 million in the last 2 weeks. Win the Scottish, beats Rory for the Scottish Open, and then finishes 3rd in this thing. And he played great in this thing. Yeah. And nobody knew who he was, but the players know who he is, I guess. He's from New Jersey, which is a local guy to Beth Page.
Oh, they'll go crazy for him, yeah.
So what do you think? Does he have a shot to get on the Ryder Cup team?
Sure he does. If he one more good finish, and I think he's on it. One more top 5 maybe, and who are you going to argue? He's playing better than Jordan Spieth. He's playing better than almost all of those guys. You're going to. Of course,
Bradley has captain's choices. What he has about 8 of them, or now they have so many captain's choices. It's ridiculous.
I think he has 6. I think the first 6 make the team, and he gets
And
to
then
pick
he
the
gets
next pick.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see him wanting to pick Goddard up. Maybe he ought to ask Goddard up, you or me.
And hasn't Harris English made the Ryder Cup team already now?
If he hasn't already, he should.
Yeah.
He's just played so well. Second this week? He was at the PGA. He finished, I think, second or third to Schauffele or to Scheffler. So he's a great guy. When I was on the tour, he was just starting out, and I watched him, and I wanted to try to hang him with this nickname. That would be my legacy to the PGA Tour when I was doing radio. I used to call him the Little Easy because he looks so much like Ernie Els, swings like Ernie Els, walks like Ernie Els. It just, everything is just so slow and smooth. And I used to call him the Little Easy, and it never stuck. But
that's a great name.
I tried. I thought it was. I thought it was pretty good.
Bob, keep trying.
Keep trying. Okay, maybe the Little Easy makes the team, and we'll go from there. The only sad part for golf is that now it's 9 months until the Masters, and 12 months or 11 months until Scheffler gets his chance to win the Grand Slam, which it would be on his birthday. Yeah, on his 30th birthday.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah, next June.
Wow.
So
how about that?
At Shinnecock, which out on Long Island, there are going to be a lot of people yelling at him and rooting for other people, and it's not going to be easy. But it'd be fun to see it happen and see him get some of that. Anything else on golf? This is the most we have ever talked golf.
Let me just throw the stat
and the
out.
most we ever will.
The stat out.
Go ahead.
Since you're talking about him winning his fifth, it takes 12 months, did you say, before he has a chance to win number 5? So Tiger took 1,197 days to win his 4th major after winning his first, and Scotty did this exact same amount of days. That's amazing.
How about that?
That's crazy.
How about that?
That is crazy.
Just one more way that folks can compare the two, even though I think we can all agree, maybe that's who we should throw under the bus. People who are comparing Scheffler with Tiger Woods. Not quite yet. Let's hold off on that. And again, I bring up Koepka as the reason why.
Yeah.
All right. We got lots more to talk about. The NFL's opening camps this week. I know Rich is excited about that. The Giants camp is opening up, and all of these guys are getting ready to play.
No.
We got baseball to talk about. We got Curry's favorite basketball player, Caitlin Clark, making news still by not playing. All of that coming up. We got plenty of folks to throw under the bus, and we'll be right back. Again, Under the Bus brought to you by Hudson's on the Docks. Welcome back to Under the Bus. Bob Stevens along with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Basirico. Where we are based, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, is about to get creamed by a thunderstorm, something we have had a lot of lately. I think all of you who watch and who have listened to this podcast have been through some nasty. Has this been like the weirdest summer?
Yes.
And you guys have been around even longer than me. So
it's raining every day. Every day it just. But usually it comes around 3, 4 o'clock. But tonight it looks like it's coming obviously this evening. So it's crazy.
All right, NFL camps open. What big stories are you looking for?
Well, mine, the one I look at is the one Rashee Rice with Kansas City. How he's supposed to spend 30 days in jail, and he's participating in full practice until they get word from the NFL. But here's my question to the NFL. He's been found guilty. We know he's going for jail for 30 days. He has to pay, I think, $115,000 to the cars that he hit, whatever, which is pocket change for him. But why does the NFL take this long to decide how many games he will be suspended, if he's suspended, or how many games he'll be suspended. They have all the information for what, over a year, not a year
Yeah,
yet, but
yeah.
a long time. What
Months.
are they waiting for? What other information do they need to know to
Yeah.
make that decision?
When does he go? When does he go to jail?
They say whenever I think he's whatever they want. The judge
Yeah, I
whenever
think
he
it's kind of
wants.
that's kind of fluid. Yeah, I think he's
Whenever,
kind of waiting to see what the NFL does.
It doesn't make sense. Like you
oh,
get to
well,
choose.
okay.
I mean,
Well,
if
the
that was
NFL
us,
always
we'd
takes.
be in jail right now and wouldn't be getting out for who knows how long,
Well,
right?
Rich, the NFL does this all the time.
I
This is,
know they do.
their suspensions. They would take a year to find out. I'll tell you what doesn't take. Can we get off that for a minute? Get to something important. The kiss cam in Gillette Stadium in Boston. I want to tell you something. That concert that Coldplay played there the other night. I almost went to that concert. I was going
Wow.
up to Boston because my family's there, and Coldplay is one of my favorite bands. So I might have been in the stands for that. So I might have had been ducking that. like,
It's
like this.
unbelievable.
It costs it. It's all funny, but it costs this guy his job. Of course,
Right.
he's a
And his family.
he's
Yeah.
a CEO astronomer, and they took a look at it and then fired him. Said you have to resign. But the funny thing, this has become such a meme. My favorite is the Philly fanatic doing it the other night in Philly Stadium. His girlfriend is Fiona, which is a green, fuzzy, blonde, just like him. Only she's a girl, Fiona, and they did a replica of what happened, and they played the song, and it's done all over. The Diamondbacks did it, the Cardinals did it. It's gone all over the country to all these stadiums mimicking what the couple did. It is hysterical. And Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, is now warning. He's now warning the crowd because they've got all these cameras on all these couples. It's not just like it's not just like the stadium camera. Coldplay brings their own cameras in there, and he now is warning the crowd. Here it comes. So,
Oh my yikes.
there's a video
Yeah.
game called Coldplay Canoodlers. They're in a video game already. My favorite thing. I think it would be great to me. The funniest thing would be if those sausages that are in the sausage race in
Oh
Milwaukee,
no.
if those sausages all just fell down and did a 4-way. They just
Curry.
Do you remember back in the 90s when the Macarena was a big deal for about
Yeah.
2 months?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's where I see this going. This is going to be a big deal for about 2 months, and then hopefully we'll go on to something else. But
Yeah.
crazy, unbelievable stuff. All right, since we're on to crazy, unbelievable stuff, let's do it now. President Trump, as a distraction, I think, from all else that's going on in Washington, is now suggesting, even more than suggesting, that the Washington Commanders change their name back to the Redskins.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, I mean, first of all, he's the president of the United States. He's telling people how to run their own business now and change. And the owner came out and said, "We're not going back to the other name." You know, I thought it was
Yeah.
crazy they changed names to begin with. I think it's silly. I mean, we've talked about this before. It's your mascot. You honor your mascot. You're not putting your mascot down. So why you have to change? He's also asked Cleveland Indians to go back to the Cleveland Indians. He's also asked that too.
Well, he's
But you know,
saying that these Indians have been treated unfairly, that the Indian nations are all upset that
well,
their name. But it's
it's their
it's just the
name. It's
opposite.
their
It's
name.
just the opposite. It's just the opposite.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah. Yeah.
he's he even put out the MIGA. He said, "Make Indians great again."
Yeah.
I mean,
Amiga.
this
Yeah.
guy, he's such an
It's
idiot.
great.
He's such an idiot, and now he's after. Then he brought up political some guy that the son of the guy that used to own the the Indians.
Guardians. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who has died.
ran
Yeah. Yeah.
ran for office a couple times and got beat,
Right.
and so Trump said
Yeah.
maybe he figured
That's
it
why.
out.
Yeah.
He should rename him back to
Hey,
the
what do you think?
Redskins.
Since we're this whole segment is going to be weird stuff going on. Caitlin Clark helps pick an all-star team, then can't play because she gets hurt. But she and all of the rest of the girls wore during the all-star game, their warm-up shirt said, "Pay us what you owe us." Are they getting out over their skis a little bit?
I think. Well, first of all, what do we owe? Pay us what you owe us. What do we owe you? I mean, what you're a basketball player in a women's league, which is fine. I mean, the WABA has vastly improved, and the attendance is better, and so forth. But they're saying, well, look what the men get paid, and look what we get paid. The men draw almost, well, not quite double the amount of fans. And the WNBA has lost money every year, every year. So where do you? I mean, I guess they want the money from TV and that type of thing. But are you going to pay the losses to the WNBA because they lose every year? They're going to lose $50 million. Are you girls going to help out with that? That's my question.
My problem with the WNBA players is that none of them understand why this great interest in the growth of the game is happening. They don't understand it's because of one girl, one woman, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And I read where the price dropped for when it was announced that Clark was going to miss the game. The price drop went from $120 to $64 for tickets to get in. I mean, that's how much this woman has meant to the WNBA. And still, after they had a press conference after the game, and Kelsey Plum started talking about the meeting that they had that morning to wear the T-shirts. And she took a swipe at Caitlin Clark because she said, Team Clark was not there. Apparently their team was not there. And UNESCO is sitting right next to Kelsey Plum, and UNESCO raised her she was on Team Clark. She raised her eyebrows and looked over and said that didn't need. She said that really needed to be said, like a question mark, sarcastic. I mean, so they seem to be fighting among each other as to Caitlin Clark is their meal ticket, and Kelsey Plum, who nobody even knows, is taking a swipe at her. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is ridiculous. Get on another side. I didn't, the game was like the men's game. There's no defense, it's 50 to 30.
So pay them what we owe them.
Yeah,
they play as bad an all-star game as the men's game.
Yeah. I didn't watch the women's all-star game. For some reason, though, I did watch All-Star Friday night, where they had the skills competition and the three-point shot competition. Did you guys see any of that?
No.
I did not.
This UNESCO, she made 11 in a row on the 3 points and scored 30 points in the final. It was over. I mean, she's the one that shot at the NBA All-Star game against Steph Curry. Remember that? They should have They should have a woman. They should have her do that every year, actually. Yeah. But it's so embarrassing. Our favorite. I got two comments about ESPN women doing this game.
Yeah.
Our favorite sideline reporter, Holly Rowe, she was interviewing all the skills girls, and she had on blue jeans. Holly Rowe had these blue jeans on that were really just impossibly too tight for her. And so then, it was too tight in embarrassing places. And so Holly, who's, a little bit plump, should we say, to be nice. So they go to the 3-point contest, and she comes out and she changed her pants. She changed her blue jeans into these, more formal dress slacks that were sort of tan and bell bottom. Jaden's got only the top of the shop. But anyway, so she changed her pants. Some producer or something told her, I guess, look, it's too informal. Your jeans are too informal. Put on slacks. So she puts on these huge bell-bottom tan slacks that are ridiculous. and she's interviewing, UNESCO and the 3-point shooters. It was just, I think Holly's got to cut down on her trips to Shoney's breakfast bar. I mean, come on. It's just
don't go there. Don't go there.
Come on, Holly.
Then we have
the All-Star game. Okay, then we have the All-Star game, it's 50-30 at half or something, and L. Duncan's on the call. L. Duncan, who's the SportsCenter
Yeah.
girl.
All right. Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
No.
Well, she said, it was a rout, and there was no. She says this is like the men's game. She says there's no defensive game. This is like a girls' trip to Cancun. No D. This is like a girls' trip to Cancun. No D. Are you kidding? So as they go to commercial, another girl on the desk says, "L, you're in timeout. You're done." She does a dick joke at the halftime of the WNBA All-Star game. How does she get away with this? This woman's been on thin ice before with ESPN. Her political. She's a lefty. She's very left wing, and her politics. She's always talking about her politics on the show. Then a couple of weeks ago, I think it was the 4th of July, she got into a spat with Kirk Herbstreit because Herbstreit called her out for being a Georgia fan and always rooting and barking on set when a Georgia game is on.
Uh-huh.
And Holly Rowe L. Duncan came back at Kirk Herbstreit and said that she's not the only one, and she went after Herbstreit. Herbstreit's one of the biggest names on the network. I think L. Duncan should kind of take a little lead here.
Yeah. She may be in a little bit of trouble, but
I think so too. Can you imagine a guy at the doing a joke like that about men?
No.
They wouldn't survive. They wouldn't survive.
Immediately gone.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my day, we had some guys who could say things and maybe get away with them, but they didn't. They knew better.
Well, Bob, Rich's favorites, Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee, get away with saying anything they want.
Yeah.
But they're the only two on ESPN that can do that.
Yeah.
Nobody else can get away with this stuff, especially L. Duncan.
And I'm sure that's what the argument that she uses is, well, these guys do it.
Yeah,
and
true.
Then you've probably done all that. All right, well, let's take another break. We're going to come back. We're going to wrap things up. We still got stuff to talk about.
See, I can get away with my sausage jokes here.
There you go.
But you guys can't. So
no, we cannot. We cannot. We will be back to talk a little baseball. It is the middle of baseball season. Maybe we ought to do that before the trading deadline. When Under the Bus continues, brought to you by Hudson's on the Docks. Welcome back to Under the Bus. Bob Stevens along with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Basirico. In baseball, the on-the-field headline is probably the Milwaukee Brewers, who've won 10 in a row and beat the Dodgers. 6 of those 10 are against the Dodgers, who have a payroll 3 times what theirs is. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good stuff. Trade deadline is coming up next week. I would throw baseball under the bus for getting so many teams available to make the playoffs, but I don't think anybody's got anybody to trade with anybody.
Who's going to get
everybody's
traded?
Still in it.
Who's going to get traded, Bob? Are there any name players?
I think the one that is going to get traded got traded already, and that was Devers from the Red Sox. There might not be much at all, or somebody might pull the trigger early in the day of deadline day, the 31st, and then everybody trades somebody. I don't know.
Well, they've been throwing names out for a month. For a month, they've been throwing names out. These reporters report this team. That sounds like a great trade, but does that team want to trade that guy? No, he doesn't want to trade that player. Oh, the Yankees are interested in this guy.
Yeah.
But those teams aren't interested in trading them. It's so much.
I used to love listening to the Yankees, especially the talk shows in New York, when they were, it was coming up to trade deadline, and they were going to trade a box of baseballs to somebody and get a all-star player that was going to solve their problem. And they never thought about, well, wait a minute, that other team doesn't want a box of baseballs. They want some players.
Exactly.
There are a
lot of
talk radio. This is their favorite time. That's for sure.
Rich, I want to know. Rich, I want to know one Yankee, and I'll guess who it is. Who you want to get traded? And I'm gonna bet
actually, there's several I like to get traded.
I'll bet it's Stanton. I'll bet it's Stanton.
Well, but nobody would take Stanton. That's the whole problem. He makes too much money. He makes too much money, and I mean, he's been hitting the ball of late, which is great. But he goes that way. He'll hit the ball 3 consecutive games, and then he's lost for 6 games. But they need a third baseman without a doubt. They totally need a third baseman. And the thing is, like, you look at stats. I mean, Toronto, who was picked to come in last in preseason, they're in first place, 3 games up on the Yankees. Well, I looked at their batting order today, and their top 5 guys are batting 283, 279, 278, 282, 282, 306. The Yankees, I mean, yes, Judge is batting 350 something. Look at the rest of the guys. Not even close to that. Well, Bellinger's up there. He's about 280, I guess. So batting average is just not even close. And the Yankees, here's my prediction, as much as I love the Yankees, they're not going to win the division unless they do make some trades, because they need a pitcher and they need a third baseman. Their third basemen are batting not close to 200.
Well, who are some third basemen that they could get?
Well, Bob, they talked today about your third baseman.
Cleveland?
Oh, Jose, the
Jose.
Guardians are going to play Jose Ramirez. Yeah, no.
But
they have him signed for the next 5 years at a reasonable number, like 13, 14, 15 million a year. He's going. He's not. He's the one guy, and I watch all the Cleveland stuff. Right. He's the one guy that they have never brought up in anything. Right. So Stephen Kwan, they have talked about.
All the reporters in New York talk about all these different guys. Like, that sounds terrific. Then teams aren't going to trade them.
Rich, here's one from this last weekend. The A's pitcher Luis Severino. Remember him? Used to be a starter for the Yankees.
Yes.
Pitches for the A's, the Sacramento, Oakland, whatever, Vegas A's. He hates being on this team. He hates the ballpark. He has pitched horribly until this last weekend, where he pitched very well against the Guardians. But, I was looking it up. I says, you know what? He might not be a bad guy to pick up, because he's been there. He's done that. He's pitching a little bit better. His record was like 2-11, but his record on the road was actually pretty half decent. So I looked it up. He's making $18 million a year.
Wow.
So he's too expensive for what he's worth. And so I don't think there's going to be much movement, because too many teams think they still have a chance.
Yeah,
well, that's true too. Go ahead, Curry. Go ahead, Curry.
No, that's what Bob said to begin with. These teams that are doing so well and are so close, they think, to making the playoffs, they don't want to.
I mean, what about your Cardinals, Curry? There are obviously a couple of things that they need, but gosh, what do you give up to get what you need that's not going to hurt you the other way? So,
well, I think also teams, like, they know the Yankees need a third baseman. They've been talking about that all season long. So their asking price is elevated.
Oh, sure.
So they're asking for so much, and Cashman's got to make a move, because they're all over him if he doesn't make a move. But then I don't want them to give away, some of their players. Spencer Jones is starting to hit the ball in AAA, and
call your buddies in New York and tell them this: the Guardians would not trade Jose Ramirez for Aaron Judge even up. They wouldn't do it.
Really?
Simple as that. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So call them and tell them that.
I will.
There you go.
I will definitely do that.
Hey, speaking of New York, I just happened to be watching this over the weekend. The Mets retired David Wright's number 5.
Yeah.
They had him up in the booth for a couple of innings afterwards. He is the 10th Met to have his number retired, but he is the only one who played his entire career for the Mets.
Oh.
Every other one played someplace else, either before or after or whatever. But he sounded like, I don't know David Wright. talked about his highlights probably when I was on SportsCenter when he was young, but I don't know. Boy, what an ambassador for a team.
Really?
The Mets need to do something with him because he was just could not say enough good things about the organization and all of that. He did everything just right. He's asking questions when he's up in the booth of Ron Darling and Keith Hernandez, who are doing the game. Hernandez's number is one of those that's been retired. But he just wanted to be one of the guys and really seemed to appreciate what baseball has done for him. And hooray! We got enough guys arguing about wanting to be free agents and arguing about the money. And
he was a stud for the Mets. And the fans loved him. The fans absolutely loved Wright. They really did.
When he was in his prime, he was Mr. New York. He was terrific. Yeah,
he did not wear a "Pay us what you owe us" T-shirt. When he had his number retired.
I got a baseball under the bus that Rich especially will love. I was watching the Sunday night baseball the other night, and Skubal was pitching for Detroit, and he is dominating. He is dominating the Rangers. It's unbelievable. He struck out 10 in the 7th inning. He struck out his 11th guy, and A.J. Hinch, I guess is that his initials?
Yeah.
The manager.
Tigers.
He comes out and he takes him out. He takes him out. There's a guy on first and third that he let on singles that weren't even big hits. But he just struck out his 11th guy, and Skubal was big time he's a big time personality.
Yep.
And he didn't bitch or balk at it, but you could tell he wasn't happy. He took the guy out and he put in another left-hander, though. He put in a left-handed reliever for the left-handed Skubal. And the guy, the third or fourth pitch is a wild pitch, and the guy from third scores the tying run. So it's 1-1. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. And they shoot, of course, the cameras shoot the Skubal in the dugout, and he's just walking around. He's trying to hide. He wants to punch anybody who could get in front of him. He wants to punch the wall, and he was just holding it in. But why
could any left-hander you bring in be better than the guy you got out there?
Well, and they said on the air, they said Skubal thinks that his worst pitch is better than anybody coming in his first pitch.
Sure.
And probably does. It probably
now,
is.
If it was you might be able to argue if it was a right-hander and the numbers were all right and the batter was a right-hander and, who maybe had a couple of hits in the game or whatever, there would be an argument. But another left-hander for the best left-hander in the game, that's nuts.
Well, when you're a starting pitcher, first of all, he's the best pitcher in the major leagues right now.
Why are you taking him out?
Who knows? Your best pitcher is pitching well. The guy coming in from the bullpen, you don't know if he has his stuff or not, right? He could be a great reliever, but he might not have his stuff that day. He's pitching with Aaron Boone does that all the time. All the time. Guys pitch 6 great innings, give up 1 hit. We got to take him out. Then they bring a relief pitcher, and guy gives up 3 hits, 2 walks, and he leaves him in. Like, why does he get to stay in the game after giving up that much? And the other guy gives up 1 hit, and he's out of the game.
All they did Sunday night was 7 innings of tributes to Skubal, showing how he was the greatest pitcher in the game, and he was pitching like that.
Yeah,
he had a couple of things in the 7th. He put guys on. But he just struck out this guy, made this guy look silly for his 11th strikeout. And here comes the manager saying, I don't know that much about baseball. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Here's the genius Hinch. Of course, he's a cheater. He's still doing it.
Curry, they overcoach. Bob, you mentioned before about the Ryder Cup coach, right? Bradley. Like, what decisions do you have to make? How many decisions does the manager make in the game? Seriously, he's got a pitching coach. Yes, are you going to bunt? Or are you going to steal? What other decisions does he make? Seriously, he doesn't make.
What he needed to do is figure out how to bunt or steal the next inning and leave.
The way these guys bunt, surely they haven't been working on it because whenever time I watch these guys bunt, they're awful at it.
There are some bad bunts.
Well, I didn't mention this while Bob was talking about the Ryder Cup, and the manager, the captain, doesn't do anything, but he does the pairings. But when our teams get beat, which they usually do in the Ryder Cup, when they get destroyed, our captain gets destroyed for his parents. He
Absolutely.
gets absolutely killed.
Yep.
And so it is an important part of his job.
What the business card said is blame taker. I mean, that's, it doesn't say captain or coach, blame taker. If we're getting beat, it's because of the captain, not because of the guys who can't make a putt. That's bizarre. Anybody else under the bus? Rich, you got anybody?
Well, I think mine is going to be the Lakers again. Bronny James. I watched some of the summer league game the other night, and they had Bronny James, and they talk about what a great defensive player he is, and this and that. He's gotten so much better. He has no business being on an NBA team. Zero. When I turned it on, the first play I saw, the opposing team was taking the ball out of bounds, sideline out of bounds. They back screen Bronny. He didn't open up. He had no idea the screen was even coming, and got back screened and never opened his hips or anything. And guy scores a layup. And all they talk about is what a great defender he is, and how he's gotten better. I'm sure he's gotten better. I'm not saying he hasn't gotten better, but he has no business playing in the NBA right now. Zero.
Hey, let me ask the two of you. The number one pick, Cooper Flagg, plays in like 2 games in the summer league, and then they say, "Wow, we're gonna rest him now."
Right.
Good. I mean, do you need to play?
Well,
or does he need to sit?
It's all about worried about him getting hurt. I mean, he can get hurt, and next time he gets on the floor, it's in the scrimmage. But that they're protecting him. They treat athletes like let them play.
Well, Rich, I heard, speaking of the Lakers, they just got Marcus Smart, who had gotten a buyout or something. And they just released 2 other players that were like their 10, 11 guys. And I read where Bronny is doing, it's totally different from what you're saying. It's been doing so well that they think Bronny's going to be like the 9th or 10th guy on the Lakers squad.
Good luck. Good luck. They're kidding themselves. They really are.
If he's the 9th guy, you better only be playing 8, right?
That's true. I mean, we could say the same thing with the Knicks. The 10th, 11th, and 12th guy. But if he's going to play valuable minutes, then I don't know what they see. I mean, I'm not saying he's such a bad player, but for him to play at that level and contribute and be part of the rotation, come on now, they're kidding themselves.
I mean, in the NBA, your 10th, 11th, and 12th players don't play anyway.
Never play.
Unless somebody gets hurt. Rich, shouldn't he be down in the D League learning how to play?
Correct. Getting better. That's the way you got to experience. You have to have the experience of playing and sitting on the bench and getting in like a minute and a half every game or 30 seconds, whatever they put him in for. What is he getting out of that? Now they're going to say, well, he gets to play, he gets to practice with the NBA team, but he needs to play. He really needs to play. They're going to make him a point guard. He's not big enough to play off guard. He doesn't shoot the ball well enough to be a 2 guard. I don't see him creating for people. It drives me nuts. And then nothing against females now, but they have a female coach in the summer league, coaching the team, the summer league team. Not that females can't coach at that level, but they had her hooked up, with a microphone, and so you could listen to what she's saying. So I was intrigued by all this. Well, I want to see what she says. And all they had the ball passing in half court, and all she said was, "This is live. This is live. This is live." I'm thinking, what? She had to tell her team that this is live play. Like what? And she didn't say it like once. She said it like 3 or 4 times. Come on, Lakers are just.
That was probably a play, Rich. That was probably a play.
No, it wasn't a play. What Curry? Why do they run plays in the NBA? They don't run plays. It's 1-on-1 and do your own thing.
And a play in the summer league? Come on.
Summer league. Okay.
Curry, anybody else under the bus?
Yeah, I'm going to switch sports for my under the bus, my last under the bus. That's the Philadelphia Eagles got their Super Bowl rings this week.
Oh, yes.
And these things are huge. And if you push a button, if you push a little button on the ring, the sides come out like wings. And that's not the worst part. That's not the worst part, because on the wings that come out is the coach Sirianni's, one of his great sayings, "You can't be great without the greatness of others," is printed on the wing as it comes out. Come on. Not only that, the rest of the ring has Sirianni's other mantras like tough, detailed, and together. I mean, there it is. Oh, way to go. I mean, come on. Nick
When
Sirianni,
would they
Mike,
ever wear? Seriously, when
all
would they
these
ever wear
sayings,
that ring?
all
When
these
would they
Nick
ever
Sirianni
actually wear it?
sayings, all these Nick Sirianni sayings. If the Eagles go 2-6, he'll be fired
He's
halfway through
fired.
the season.
He'll be out of there.
Curry, that's a
Would you
good
have
one.
loved to
That
have
is a
been in the
good one.
meeting? Imagine being in the meeting where they decided to do that.
To do the wings.
You're the
coming out.
you're the ring maker, and you said,
Oh,
"Good
man.
God, what do you want to do here?
What an
We got to
embarrassment.
put these 230 little bitty diamonds in each one of these little rings, and
Yeah.
you want that?"
Well, I mean, all the players always talk about is getting the ring, getting the ring. We
Right.
want to win the ring. And you get a ring that's so big, like Curry said, it is so big, and now you get the wings flying out. When would you ever wear that? Ever.
That's right.
Ever.
Well, let me just ask you real quick. Let's take another second. You ever seen you guys have met Super Bowl winners.
Yeah.
Ever seen one wear the ring?
No.
No, they're put away in a safe deposit
Because
box.
they're so big. They're humongous.
Same with World Series rings, I'll bet.
But World Series rings aren't
probably,
that. I mean, they're big, but they're not that big.
But this
They're
is so
not big.
tacky. This is so tacky. I
So
mean,
whoever
so
wins
tacky.
it this year, they're going to have bats flying out of the ring. The baseball, they're going to have bats come out of the
Well,
ring.
and how about putting Sirianni's sayings on the ring? Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously, he might be gone within another year, and
Right.
then you've got your coach. Who's that? Oh, that's the guy that coached us when we won the Super Bowl.
So all they need then is for the wings to then come around and grab the person in front of them and become a meme for Coldplay. That's the way. We'll just wrap it up with that. Thanks to Justin Jarrett for putting up with this circus. We appreciate you all for watching and for listening. We'll be back next week. We're going to have plenty of other people, I'm sure, to throw under the bus.
Under the Bus is a production of the Loco Media Network and is